Hello and welcome. My name is Kevin Johnson here at the One Blue Real Estate School, and thank you so much for joining us for another episode of From the Classroom. And today we're going to be talking about license renewal periods. This is a very common thing that is questioned on the class exam and state exam when it comes to obtaining your broker or sales associate license. So I want to make sure that it is crystal clear for you. So let's take a look. Initial license period. Let's talk about that one first. Your initial license period, every license, once you obtain it, is going to expire on one of two dates. It's going to either expire on March 31st or on September 30th. That's it. Those are the only 2 days in a year in which licenses expire. Which date will depend on when you pass your state exam. Another important note is that no license period can be longer than 24 months. So from the date you get your license, it can't be any longer than 24 months out. And that's really important. We'll illustrate that here in just a second. Now, during that first renewal period, it is really important that you complete, if you're in the sales associate class or you're looking to get your sales license, your 45-hour post-license education completed prior to the expiration of that first renewal cycle, or 60 hours of post-license education if you're going for your broker test. Now, there are 4 ways a license can become null and void once you obtain it. And the first way is not completing your post-license education as a sales associate. We'll talk about the other 3 in just a few minutes. But this is really important. So don't delay. Make sure you get that post-license education done as quickly as possible. So let's practice real quick. I'm going to walk through one and show you what I'm talking about. And then you'll have 2 opportunities to test your knowledge. Sally passes her state exam on February 23rd, 2020. When does her license expire? Here's how you figure it out. Now, I've made March and September red to remind us that that is when our license expiration dates are. So Sally obtained her license here in February. And if we march that out 2 years, we'll note that we go to February of 2020. So the 2 things that we taught you already has to either end on March 31st or September 30th, and no license can be longer than 24 months. So if we were to go to March of 2022, that would be in excess of 24 months. So we have to back up and go all the way back to September 30th of 2021 for this person's expiration date. So that is when Sally will have her license expire. So always count out 2 years. And then you're going to back it up to that last license renewal deadline. Let's try another one. Jose passed his state exam on March 16th. When does his license expire? Hit pause, and then when you think you have your answer, hit play, and we'll check it out. Welcome back. What did you get? Did you say March of 2022, or did you say September of 2021? September of 2021 is going to be the right answer because 24 months from March 16th, 2020 is March 16th of 2022. The problem is that license renewal date is March 31st, so doesn't quite hit it. So we have to back it up all the way to September, just like the last one. No worries, so the expiration date, September 30th, 2021. How about another one? Tyrell passed his state exam on April 15th, 2020. When does his license expire? Hit pause, and when you think you have the answer, hit play again, and we'll check it out. Welcome back. So what did you get? Did you get March of 2022? Well, you would be correct. So we go out 24 months all the way to April of 2022. And since it doesn't hit the September date, we back it up to March of 2022, March 31st. That's going to be the day, 2022, that his license will expire. So whenever you pass your state exam, you can quickly figure out when your license will expire. What happens after that first renewal? So now you've renewed, you've completed your 45-hour post-license education, we're on and we're going. Every license will renew every single 2 years. So if your license renewal date is a March 31st date, every March 31st, every other year, your license will expire. Now, during that period, you need to make sure that you do renew your license and you complete your 14 hours of continuing education. If you don't renew, they are going to charge you a late fee. So make sure you renew on time, and they will send you plenty of renewal notices. While I'm thinking about it, make sure you keep your mailing address up to date with the department. If you don't renew, your license will get changed to involuntary inactive, which means you can't practice real estate anymore. Remember, you must have an active real estate license to practice real estate. And if your license remains involuntary inactive for 2 years, so you didn't renew, 2 years goes by, we're going to make your license null and void. Now, let's visualize everything we've talked about. I'm a visual learner, and I know most people are, so we like to make sure that everything that we present here at OneBlue is in a visual format. So that initial license period we talked about, right, it's going to begin when you pass your state exam. This applies to sales and to broker. Can't be any longer than 24 months, must have an expiration date on either March 31st or September 30th. You have to get your post-license education done, 45 hours for sales, that'll be 60 hours for broker, and then of course renew your license with the state of Florida. Now during your subsequent renewal periods, remember those are 2 years long, every one. During that time period, you have to complete your continuing education. 3 hours of that has to be core law, 3 hours of that has to be ethics-based. Renew with the state, and you're good to go. Now, after 2 years, at the end of every 2-year renewal cycle, if you fail to renew, then your license goes involuntary inactive. Now, we've got a clock that starts ticking for us. For that first year, or the first 12 months, right, following going involuntary inactive for failure to renew, you have to complete 14 hours of continuing education. You also have to renew your license with the state of Florida, and now you have to pay some late fees. But take care of that, and you'll get your license back no problem. Now, from month 13 until month 24, or in year 2 after failing to renew, well, now you have to do 28 hours of commission-prescribed education. You're going to have to renew your license with the state and pay some late fees. So what happens if you don't do that in the second year of being involuntary inactive? Well, at that point, your license becomes null and void. Now, earlier we talked about how there was 4 ways that your license could go null and void. We mentioned one. Well, now we have the second way on how that can happen. The other 2 ways, having your license revoked because of a disciplinary proceeding. So if you violate the rules, you go before the FREC and they revoke your license, that is another way that your license will become null and void. The fourth and final way is if you voluntarily relinquish it, meaning you just turn it back in. If any of these happen, what do you have to do if you want to start practicing real estate again? Apply for your license, complete the 63-hour, pass the state exam, all over again, just like you never had a license. One final note for the members of our armed services. We recognize that while the men and women of the United States Armed Forces are serving our country, they're kind of busy and don't have time to complete their renewals and come back and take their CE. So if they are in good standing with the member of the United States military, they are exempt from the renewal requirements and exempt 2 years past active duty, and as long as it's honorable discharge. And if the duty is out of state, that applies to a military service member's licensed spouse. Well, folks, that is the license renewal for your initial period and subsequent periods. I hope you found this information helpful and that you learned something new, or maybe if you already knew, we kind of maybe cleared something up for you. If you're looking for a real estate school, please give us a try. We offer small classes, an interactive environment, and we just have lots of fun. All of our instructors are practicing brokers. They're out there every day interacting with customers when they're not with us, helping the future of real estate. So they know what they're talking about, and they have that real life practical experience today to help you succeed tomorrow. So hope you give us a chance. In the meantime, if you're studying for your state exam, whether that be sales or broker, check out our website, onebluerealestateschool.com. Click on Study Resources at the top of the page. You'll find practice exam, math tutorial videos, quizzes, lots of things to help you prepare for the state exam. Thank you so much for watching, and make sure you make it a great day.